Residential Sales Comparison and Income Approaches, page 149. Introduction to N for DAC. The Eshel and O use 5 income fundamentals. The Ring CER. This to it Nahi N relevant property characteristics are very often the first and most obvious clue that the appraiser should consider the relevance of the income approach for a residential property. Some of the situations T often prompt this conclusion might include that physical characteristics of the property, income history, location, Y or existing leases for the property. If the property consists of 2 or more living units, the appraiser undoubtedly will initially determine that the income approach has relevance in the assignment. When a property is currently rented or has an income history, the indication is probably the same. In the context of location, if the market area or neighborhood is, or is transitioning to, a significant number of tenant-occupied properties, this could also provide evidence to the appraiser that some type of income technique should be included in the scope of work. There are numerous scenarios based on these assignment elements, and possibly others, that could cause the appraiser to consider the income approach applicable for credible results. As a reminder, determination of the relevant property characteristics is the appraiser's sole responsibility. In some assignments, the client may specify the income approach be developed and presented in the appraisal assignment. If the assignment is accepted with this client requirement, this would be an assignment condition with which the appraiser must comply. When the appraiser accepts an assignment with such a condition, the appraiser determines in the final analysis what the results of the relevance of the income approach is often realized during problem identification. Or possibly somewhere else in the development process, lessee a person who leases property, a tenant. Lesser a person who leases property to another, a landlord. Market rent what the property could rent for in the open market if currently vacant and available. Net lease a property lease for which the tenant pays all utilities and certain expenses. In addition to rent payments, net operating income, NOI, income after expenses. Operating expenses, day-to-day costs of running a building, like repairs and maintenance, but not including debt service or depreciation. Overage rent a percentage of business sales a tenant's business has generated paid in addition to rent payments. Overall capitalization rate used to interpret a property's single-year net operating income to the property's value using direct capitalization. Symbolized by roll overall yield rate considers a series of annual figures over the entire investment period as well as reversion. Potential gross income, PGI. The income that could be produced by a property in an ideal situation, with no vacancy or collection losses. Reserves for replacement, an amount of money set aside for future replacement of major items, such as the roof or heating system. Also called reserves. Reversionary benefit, typically a sum, often stated in a dollar amount, that a property owner will receive when or if he sells the property at the end of the investment term. Variable expenses, operating expenses necessary to the property, but usually dependent on the property's occupancy level. Mississippi 49.